Hey there. I have planned today a workout for you that will last about a half an hour. And for today's workout, you will need a blanket. And if you don't have a blanket or a towel, which I really hope you do at home, but oh hi Leila. But if you don't, then you can use the wall, and I'll show you a variation that you can do if you just have like a small space of wall there. Also, the other thing that you will need is a strap, which I have here. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a towel. You can use a, Layla, can you get out of the shot? Go on, get lost. You can use a towel, you could use a belt, you could use a dog leash. You can use anything that will just give you something like taut to take your hands on. So we're gonna get started in a comfortable seat. So if you have a blanket or a towel, you might choose to fold it up and sit on top of it and cross your shins. Now, if this is absolutely not comfortable for you, you can always come to lay on your back if you'd like. Let me turn on some of these lights. It's a little dark in here. So come to sit and sit up as tall as you can. And now just look over your right shoulder, keeping your crown of your head tall. Bring your gaze back forward and then look over your left shoulder. And then bring your gaze back forward again. Look once over your right shoulder, your center, and then over your left shoulder. Come back through center, drop your right ear to the right shoulder. Relax your jaw. Bring your head through center, left ear to left shoulder. Back through center. Now pull on your knees, arch your back, look up towards the ceiling. And with an exhale, round, pulling on your knees, tuck the chin to the chest and round your tailbone under you. Inhale as you rock forward on your hip bones, look up to the ceiling, arch your back. And then round as you exhale, tucking the belly button in towards the spine, gentle pull on your hands to traction backwards. Inhaling as you lift up, look up to the ceiling. Exhale as you round in, rocking back, tucking your entire spine into a rounded shape. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round in. Now come back up through center. And now from here, we're going to, if you're sitting up on something, you might move off of it now. Take your feet a little further than hips width distance out in front of you with the knees bent. Bring the hands together in front of your heart and rock both of your shins over to your right. And then make both of your legs into 90-degree angles. And then from here, rock back through center. Try to keep your hands around heart center. Rock over to the left, taking both shins into those 90-degree angles to your thigh. Back through center. Rock over to the right. Now, if this is a little bit hard to reach your arms forward, and that'll help give you a little bit more traction forward. Take a few more times, rocking side to side. We're just working on a little bit of hip mobility. I tend to travel in these. I don't know if you find yourself just getting closer and closer to the screen. Next time you're rocking over to the right side, pause there, and now take your hands onto the ground. You can let that left hip just lift up. And now we'll lift just your left ankle away from the floor, keeping the left knee grounded. And then just take a couple of those leg lifts, and you should feel that left glute firm in as you do that. Take the leg as high as you can. Try to keep it at that 90-degree angle. And next time the foot is down on the floor, bring your chest back up over your hips, hands to heart center, and rock over to the opposite side. Bring both hands down onto the floor. Both legs stay in the 90-degree angles. And now lift your right ankle just a few times, keeping the toes flexed as you just lift and drop that foot down. Until you feel a little bit of a slight warming up, burning in that right glute, a little bit in that right hamstring. And then from here, we'll slowly start to come back through center. And now we'll come to lay down on your back. So come to lay down on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat. And to start here, keep your feet hips width distance fairly close so they're about underneath your knees. Hands face down alongside your hips. Tuck the shoulder blades a little bit underneath you. Now from here, press into both of your feet. Press your low back into the floor so you feel the tailbone tuck underneath you and compress your glutes, squeeze your glutes. And now keep your tailbone tucking as your hips lift away from the floor all the way up into a gentle bridge. Keeping the tailbone tucking in, glutes engaged. Now lower halfway down towards the floor, press into your hands and lift the hips back up. Lower halfway down towards the floor, resisting gravity, and then push the hips back up. Lower part of the way down, push back up, lowering down for 3, lift up, lower 2, lift up, lower 1, lift up. Now stay lifted, come onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels up and maybe tuck the shoulder blades a little bit more underneath you. You should start to feel the hamstrings a little warm, the glutes. Squeeze the glutes, drop the hips halfway towards the floor. Press up for 5, drop. Press up for 4, feeling that burn, lower 3. Press up, 2. Press up. Last one, lower halfway. Press up. Drop the heels down, heel toe your feet as wide as your mat, or just a little bit wider than your outer hips. Squeeze the glutes, press the hips up. Drop halfway, feel the burn, work through it. Press up, 4. Lower halfway, press up 3. Squeeze the glutes at the top, lower 2. Lift up, last one, lowering halfway. And press up, heel toe the feet back to hips with distance and little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, you got it, 2, 1, slowly lower all the way down. Draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a stretch, rock side to side. Whew. When I was trying to come up with some inspiration for upper body workouts, I went to one of my workout books, which is funny, a woman's strength training book, and I realized they have literally no upper body workouts in there. So I tried to be creative, we'll get to that, but we're going to start mostly with lower body. Now we'll bring both of your legs together with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, hands again alongside your hips. Tuck the shoulder blades slightly underneath your chest. And now press into your feet, lift your hips up. Squeeze the glutes. And now from here, straighten your right leg forward, keeping your knees together. Now slowly lower the hips down towards the floor, hover. Press into the left foot, lift the hips up. Lower the hips a bit. Press back. 3 more, lower 2. Press up. Lower last one. Press up. And then bend your right knee, take your feet together. Straighten your left leg forward. Drop the hips halfway. And press up, pressing into your right foot halfway down. Press up 2. Press up. Last one, halfway down. Pressing your right foot, lift up, bend your knees, take your feet on the mat, lower the hips down. Hug the knees into the chest, rock a little bit side to side. Nice. Now, from here, come up to a seat for a moment, and I'll show you the next move we're going to do, which are called hamstring slides. So, if you have hardwood floors or tile, this is going to be where you'll use your blanket. So if you're using a mat, just fold it up in half, so you have some space for your blanket to be on the hardwood floor. So from here, if you're taking the blanket variation, you'll come onto the hardwood floor with your feet onto the blanket, just like we did in a bridge pose, hands alongside your hips. You'll find a bridge with your feet on the blanket. And then from here, we'll come onto the heels. So lift the balls of your feet as much as you can, and then slide the blanket forward so your legs start to straighten, not all the way, maybe just halfway, and then dig into your heels, bring the blanket back in, feet plant flat. So I'm going to lower the hips, and then that'll be the first variation. If you do not have wood floors, then you can come onto the wall. And it'll be the same movement here. So you'll come with the legs up the wall, hands alongside your hips, just like in a bridge pose, palms face flat, shoulder blades tuck under you. Bend your knees, take your feet flat, press into your feet to lift your hips up, just like a bridge pose. Bring your feet together. And then from here, lift the balls of your feet up, lower the hips down, and then drag the heels to lift the hips up. And you could take the legs a little bit straighter for more challenge if you'd like, or take one leg at a time to really feel that burn in your hamstrings. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna do the blanket variation here. You choose whichever one is gonna serve you today, and we'll get started. So find your bridge pose with your feet on the blanket. Lift the balls of your feet up off the floor. Straighten your legs forward, just maybe halfway or further if you want a challenge. Dig into your heels, slide the blanket back in, press the hips up. Slowly lift the balls of your feet up, slide the blanket forward. Dig into the heels, slide the blanket back. 2 more, slide the blanket forward. Dig into the heels, slide the blanket back. 1 more time, slide the blanket forward. Keep the glutes engaged if you can. Slide the blanket back. And then slowly lower down, take rest. And breathe. It's kind of funny that I went from teaching yoga full-time to really wanting to teach more strength training since I've gotten home. Or I should say been home more often. Let's take 1 more set. But strength training is so important in conjunction with yoga. Press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips, lift the balls of your feet up, straighten your legs forward. Dig into your heels, slide back. 4 more. Slide forward. Dig into the heels, slide back. Contract those hamstrings. 2, sliding forward. Sliding in. Last 1, sliding forward. You've got it. Dig into the heels, slide it back. Lower the hips down. Everything is all about a balance here, so we find ways to balance out all that flexibility with some strength building. Draw the knees into the chest. Rock over to one side and come up to sit. And now we'll come up to stand. If you'd like a different challenge here, you can try to come up to stand without using your hands. So try pushing up into your shins and standing up. Now from here, we'll start to warm up the upper body a little bit. We are 12 minutes in, so about halfway through. Relax your arms alongside your body, feet hips width distance. Relax your arms and just start to wiggle your shoulders, spinning them side to side. And let your arms just sort of hang at your sides. When I was a kid, I used to like to do this. I would put on like my dad's big jacket or something and just swing around and let the sleeves kind of hit you. So I call this the coat sleeves exercise, just warming up and lubricating the shoulders a little bit. And now we'll find that strap or whatever it is that you're going to use as your strap today. And we'll take the hands significantly wider than shoulder width distance on that strap. And now hold the strap out in front of you and let the thumbs kind of collapse in towards your inner wrist. So you feel, as you pull the strap apart, you can let the thumbs move towards your inner wrist and then try to taut the pinkies away from one another. So now you see the thumbs move away from your inner wrist and it feels really strong across your entire arm. And you might just slide your hands a little wider for this. Now from here, keep the strap as taut as you can. Take the arms above your head. Now from here, we'll let the arms fall back behind you, trying to keep your chin back. And you might choose to widen your grip a little bit if you need. Keep the elbows taut and the pinkies moving away from the thumbs. Slowly come all the way back up and drop the strap in front of you. And then continue like this a few times and you might start to move a little bit faster. You might move your hands a little bit closer if you can, keeping the pinkies taut, chin back. And even the front of your ribs moving in. So try not to go into a full back bend to get the range of motion in your shoulders, but really try to isolate that movement, keeping the front of your pelvis locked in and up. Now the next time that the strap is up above your head, pause there, try to pull the strap apart again, taut the pinkies away, taut your elbows, side bend over to your right. Back through center, side bend over to the left. Come back through center. Now turn your chest to the right, but keep your hips facing as far forward as you can. You should feel your obliques fire up. Squeeze the glutes slightly, turn a little more. Come back through center. Now turn your entire chest to your left. Squeeze the glutes, press into your feet. Use your obliques to turn a little more. Come back through center one more time, turning to the right. Push your right hip forward. Back through center, turn to the left, pushing the left hip forward. Come back through center one more time, dropping the strap back down behind you. grab back up and over your head and down. Great job. So now we've come to a part of the exercise that I know you've been so looking forward to, which is the planks. So we're going to be doing a 5-minute plank again today. And again, it's not going to be a direct 5-minute complete plank, but it's going to be different variations of plank within. So modify as you need. If you need to tap the knees down, tap them down, but lift them back up when you feel strong enough. So see if you can really challenge yourself here. If you'd like to get a drink of water, feel free to get a drink of water. Another thing that I like to do, especially for forearm planks, or if you have tender wrists, sometimes I'll put my hands or my forearms down on a blanket or a towel just to give a little bit of cushion. Now know that this forearm plank is something to be worked towards, so it doesn't mean that you failed if you didn't hold it the whole time. So just do your best. Know that any amount of planking is better than no planking, so hey, there's that. Another benefit I really love about planking that I've been really needing, which is a lot of neck strengthening. I have a really mobile neck, so having the planks actually strengthens the back and the front of your neck. So lots of different benefits of this exercise. So let's get started first by coming onto your hands and your knees. And again, knowing you can drop down onto your forearms anytime you need. And then we'll start on, you can drop down to your knees anytime you need. We'll start by coming onto your forearms. Fingers come closer than your elbows, so the elbows are a little wider apart. And then walk your feet back into your forearm plank. Whoops. Restart that. Yeah. Now once you're there, draw the belly button in. Squeeze your quadricep muscles, that's your upper thigh. Bring your chin slightly back and press into your forearms. Take your tailbone towards your heels and relax the jaw. Can you reach through the crown of the head, reach the breastbone just slightly forward as you keep the heels moving back so you feel super long and straight. Resist gravity. This first one is the longest one we hold. It's a full minute. So stay with it. We're halfway there. If you need to tap the knees down, feel free to tap the knees down. Keep a slight doming in your upper back so you feel the shoulder blades moving slightly away from your spine, and keep breathing. Just 15 more seconds here. You've got that. Just breathe through it. Challenging your body as much as your mind in this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pivot your left forearm in, left body side arm plank, forearm plank. Reach your right arm up. And you can cross your feet or you can stack your feet on top of one another. Lift the hips away from the floor and then spiral your right hip slightly forward, right shoulder slightly back. We're already halfway through the side plank count, so hold here. Keep resisting the ground if you need to put your knees down. Both knees on the ground, knees stacked. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, right forearm comes down, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling, push the hips up, left hip slightly forward, left shoulder slightly back. Flex your feet. Reach your left fingers up as you press the right forearm down, halfway there. Hold, breathe. Contract that left glute a little bit. Nice job. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plank pose. Press into your left hand, right hand. Come up onto your hands. High plank. You can either keep the feet shoulder width distance, maybe a little wider. Give your legs a little bit of a break. But keep the quads firm. Keep the breastbone moving forward. Keep your breath moving in and out. We're halfway through the whole thing. You've got this. Keep pressing into every single finger. Keep the tailbone moving towards your heels. Nice. Holding here. Relax your jaw. Keep your breath moving. 10 more seconds in high plank. Again, you can choose to tap the knees down, but take them back up if you can. Finding moments to challenge yourself, even if it's only for 10 seconds. Left hand down, right arm up, side plank to your right. Reaching the hips up, right arm up, and then pivot the right hip a little bit forward if you'd like more challenge. Lift your right leg up, scissoring the leg away from your left leg, finding A little bit more of a tricky balance. Keep your breath moving. Holding here. 10 more seconds. You've got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back through center. Right hand down. Left arm reaches up. Side plank. Flex your feet. Maybe challenge yourself lifting the left foot away from the right. Holding and breathing. Keep that right glute engaged. Left glute engaged slightly. Nice job. 10 more seconds. And then slowly come back into your high plank pose. Hold here. Lower onto your left forearm, lower onto your right forearm. Press your left hand down, right hand down, high plank. Lower onto your right forearm, lower onto your left forearm. Right hand down, left hand down, high plank. Take your right hand, tap your left shoulder. Back down, left hand taps right shoulder. Back down, right hand to left shoulder. Back down, left hand to right shoulder. Back down, tap and tap. For 3, 2, last one, tapping and hold here, pause. Bring your feet wider than your mat or pretty wide, hands wide. Hover your left foot off the mat. Try to hover your right hand off the mat. Right hand down, left foot down. Hover your right foot off the mat. Left hand off the mat. Left hand down, right hand foot down. Come back into your high plank. 20 more seconds, you've got it. Lower onto your forearms. Find the moment to challenge yourselves. Just 10 more seconds. Stay with it. Find your breath. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Tap your knees down. Awesome job. High five yourself. Phew. No. Again, great, never mind. Good job. So, give yourself a moment and a couple neck rolls, a couple shoulder rolls there. Okay. Get a drink of water. Maybe that's really easy for you. Who knows? The next thing we're going to do is also going to be on hands and knees here. So this is more of an upper back balancing exercise. So go ahead and come onto your hands and knees, and you might choose to use that blanket underneath your knees now. Now in your hands and knees, bring your knees together and your legs together, tuck your toes. And now straighten your left leg back the height of your hip. Tuck the belly button in slightly, and then reach your right arm forward, finding a spinal balance. Turn the thumb up to the ceiling, and flex the left toes. And if you feel off balance, good. From here, reach through the fingers, reach through the heel, and breathe. Tuck the belly button in, holding here for 5 more seconds. And then from here, sweep your right arm back. See if you can hold on to the left foot behind you. And then kick a little bit into your hand to open up that left hip and that right shoulder. Whoa. A little bit of a balance challenge here. And then slowly release right hand, left knee down to the mat. Straighten the right leg back, hover at the height of the hip, belly button in, left arm forward. Find your balance, turn the left pinky towards the floor, like you're reaching to shake someone's hand. Reach through your right heel, belly button in. Find your balance. Wobbling is fine. Giving up is not. So stay with it. Breathe. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Cartwheel the left arm back. Reach for the top of your right foot. Kick slightly into your hand until you feel that opening across your right hip and left shoulder. Slowly release hands and knees. Bring your big toes together, knees apart, and find a child's pose. Bring your forehead down to the floor, forearms down. Breathe into your upper back and your low back. shorter sequence for you today. Again, as usual, if you would like some sort of yoga flow after this, feel free to hit me up and reach out for it. I'm going to actually continue this workout for another 5 minutes with a little bit more upper body stuff. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to stay. If you're totally done from all those planks, feel free to just end the video here and to start your day. Otherwise, come back into your top of your push-up position and bring your knees together. We'll keep the knees down for this one. Walk your hands slightly forward so you're in a plank with the knees down. And then from here, bending the elbows straight back, lower halfway down, belly button and chin back, and press back up. For 4, lower down, press up. 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, bending the elbows out, side to side, turn the thumbs a little closer to another. Pointer fingers point towards one another a little bit. Bend the elbows straight out and back up. 4, chin back. 3, 2, belly button stays in. Last one. Press back up. Bring your hands together. Thumbs touch. Pointer fingers point towards one another. From here, bend the elbows out to the sides. Press back up. Ground into each finger. 4, 3, 2, last one. Press back up. Nice. Now from here, we'll come over to sit down with the hands behind you, fingers pointing towards you. And then from here, hips are a little bit back so your knees can stay bent with your feet flat on the floor. Just bend the elbows slightly back behind you. Press into your feet, lift the hips up, and then lower the hips down just to hover. Press the hips up, lower the hips down, maybe give them a little rock back towards your hands. Press the hips up, shin stays in, rock the hips to hover, swing them back. Feet plant, hips move up, hips move down, rock back, maybe coming onto your heels, plant the feet, hips up. Bend the elbows slightly as you rock back. Lift the hips up one last time. And then lower the hips down. Cross the shins. Give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls. Now from here, take the arms out to the side, cactus the arms. Keep the front of your ribs moving in. And just pull the elbows back and down. Opening up your chest and look up towards the ceiling. Now with an inhale, reach the arms up. And with an exhale, cactus the arms, pulling them back and down. Inhale to reach up. Maybe as you exhale, make a fist as if you're holding a bar and resist as you pull the elbows down. Inhale, fingers splay as you reach up. Exhale, pull down, maybe making that fist. One last time, reaching up. And slowly pulling down. And slowly relax. So that was just a little bonus, little upper body warm up. If you want to do those again for another set, feel free. Otherwise, go about starting your day feeling good, full body warm up. And if you would like a flow, hit me up. I will send you either a half-an-hour flow or a 1-hour flow, depending on your time and what you would like, which would go really good after strength sequencing like this. So thanks for participating and joining. If you're curious about that book I mentioned, this is it. Strength. I don't know if it's going to come out backwards, but it's Women's Strength Training Anatomy. Literally no upper body workouts, just abs, back, legs, and butt. And the back is just 2 things. So, although some great anatomy information, overall, 2 thumbs down. If you have any good book recommendations for any strength building routines, or maybe like Instagram accounts that I could use for some inspiration, or maybe a part of your body that you're really focusing on strengthening right now, please let me know. I love hearing from you, and also I will be hosting a free restorative yoga. If you know me, you know that's generally mostly what I teach, and that'll be Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on Zoom. Hit me up, I'll send you the link, or I'll add you to my email newsletter, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.